Hi again from the garden, it's Christina from Sunshine and Flora. So I am out here, it is market day, and I am out here harvesting sunflowers this morning. So I wanted to give you guys an update on how my bed is doing that all of my sunflowers are planted in. Well, my first succession of sunflowers anyway, and all of my pumpkins, because they are absolutely exploding. I have been harvesting lots of sunflowers, and I haven't really shown you guys what it looks like since I planted it. So let me take you out there. It is outside of the garden, and I want to show you what it all looks like right now, and we'll get a peek at some of the pumpkins that are growing. By the way, it is a beautiful morning in the garden so far, although we're in a heat advisory today, so of course on market day it's going to get super hot. All right, let's head out to the pumpkin patch. It is outside of my garden. We have to go through my garden shed. There it is. So this is my first succession planting of sunflowers plus all my pumpkins. This bed is 4 feet wide and 96 feet long. And as you can see, my pumpkins are branching out into my parking lot. So I have started harvesting quite a few sunflowers. Here's one that I'm going to be harvesting this morning. This is the White Light. And then over here you can see another variety. This one I will also be harvesting this morning. This is Gold Light. I like to harvest my sunflowers when the first petals are just lifting off of the face. That way you get minimal bug damage, but then they also last a lot longer that way too. So I want to show you a couple other varieties that are opening that I'm harvesting today. And one of my sunflower, Steve's sunflowers, is just starting to open. All right, so we're gonna walk down here a little bit. There's a couple of the White Lights. This one is not quite ready yet. I could harvest it, but I want to wait a little bit longer. I really like this stage. All right, let's keep walking down here. Oh, by the way, I added these 4 raised beds to my area too. I was gifted some seedlings from a fellow gardener friend. They were left over that she had. So you can see I have some asters here that are starting to bloom. There's some Ami. Over here is some feverfew, straw flowers, amobium. And then this bed over here is sunflowers. This bed is a variety of things, but there's also sunflower seeds planted throughout as well. Okay, are you guys ready to see my first sunflower, Steve's sunflower? Oh my gosh, there's a wasp. There it is. So I'm gonna let it open one more day before I harvest it, but I'm really excited to see how it fully opens and looks. I might have to keep that one for myself. All right, let me take you on down the line. We're gonna look at a few more sunflowers, and then I wanna show you a whole bunch of pumpkins that are starting to grow. So it is just an absolute sea of pumpkins along here. These, for some reason, have really curved leaves on some of the top parts of the plant, and I don't know why, but the actual sunflowers seem to be growing just fine. Here's another Gold Light. So along with the bed I'm harvesting from right now and those other 4x4 beds, I have this area that is planted with sunflowers. Now I had some volunteer sunflowers right there pop up, and they were shading this area, so I have cleared a bunch of those out. So these that are growing are just starting to reach for the sun now. But down below, You can see all these new ones starting to pop up. So I should have hundreds ready just in time for my big end of September market. And I'm growing some pumpkin on a stick this year. I have about 12 plants of these to grow for fun. All right, so here's a view looking the other direction. They are just growing so well. So I want to show you some of the varieties that are opening. This is the black futsu. I think that's how you say it. It's gonna turn black and then it has kind of bumps all over the top of it. And then, oh, I see a couple nice big ones in here. This is going to be the winter luxury. You can see the skin on that kind of developing its pattern. Looks like there's a couple more. Ooh, here's one growing really nice. Oh, look how pretty that one's gonna be. That is, oh, that's supposed to be a winter luxury too. It must just be so early you can't see the texture yet. I mean, it is just full of pumpkins in here. Oh, this one's gonna be pretty. This is on the silver edge vine. Oh, look at these. There are 3 right here. There's 2 there and 1 over here. These are the hot chocolates, so they're gonna be like a light brown pumpkin. Perfect size. Here's another one. There are 4 right there. Here's a couple more hot chocolate on a different vine. Here's some more. There's a cute little guy. So I want to show you a couple of the blaze pumpkins. Look at how pretty that one is getting. These are supposed to be very heavy producers. They're a smaller size pumpkin, striped. Look, there's 1, 2, 3, and there's one further along right in here. Look at the colorings on that. Yellow and orange striped. So pretty. Okay, here's another really good looking one. This one's called Sunlight. It is a pale yellow pumpkin. I know the colors are kind of hard to see because the light's reflecting off of all these green leaves. But this is gonna be a really pretty pale yellow. There are just so many pumpkins in here. I will link the video at the end of this video that I actually went through all of the varieties of pumpkins that I'm growing this year. There's about 20 of them. So I should also mention, when I planted these pumpkins, I put a handful or 2 of compost in the hole with the seeds just to give them that extra boost. Because pumpkins are such heavy feeders, I wanted to make sure they had plenty of nutrients when they were growing, and I have not fertilized these since planting them. So my plan for growing all these pumpkins is to use them at a big end of the year market that I'm going to. I did it last year. It was a huge success. I sold out in a couple hours, and so I need to take much more product this year. But I will keep some of these for myself, but I'm gonna make a whole set of fall flowers and all these small to medium-sized pumpkins. They're all unique varieties, most of them anyway, and so I think it's gonna be a really big hit at the market, and so that is my purpose for growing all of these. And I almost forgot to show you guys this spot. So this is the Titan Squash Tunnel from Gardener's Supply. And this has mini pumpkins planted on it. And you can see, well, along with my shadow here, but you can see they are starting to vine up the trellis. They should completely cover this. And these are all miniature pumpkins that I can put in a basket at the market. Last year I sold them for $1 each and people were buying them in sets of 5. It was perfect. All right, so the last thing I want to show you in this video is a bunch of the sunflowers that I have already harvested. So let's go into my fridge and I will pull those out for you. Okay, so these are all of the sunflowers that I have harvested already that I'm going to be using for all of my market bouquets today and probably Thursday, which is 2 days from now. These are the ones that I just harvested this morning. So I'm gonna put these in the fridge and I will use these on Thursday. But you can see this is the stage that I really like to harvest my sunflowers at. The petals have just lifted off of the face. I can see that there's no like irregularities in it, and it's all gonna open and bloom, you know, very symmetrical like these. So I know that this one will be a good one for the market. Let me show you an example of one I'm not using. So I harvested this yesterday and I just threw it away, and I will put a close-up on the screen, but can you see how these petals are all lifted off the face? These are stuck down. Those are kind of a deformity in when it grew, and so this is one that I do not want to put in a bouquet. That's why I like to be able to see first how they're all going to open. So this one I'm not using. And then as far as some of the varieties that I have growing this time of year, which I showed you a couple of these outside, this is the White Light. I love these lighter varieties for early summer. Some of the darker varieties that I planted for fall are like the Pro Cut Red and the Pro Cut Plum, and of course the Pro Cut Orange and Brilliance, which are just the standard, you know, normal looking sunflower. But I like to do some of these lighter ones for summer and then do the darker ones for the fall. So this is the White Light. And this is the Gold Light. You can see the difference in the petals, but they both have the light colored center. This is probably either the Pro Cut Orange or the Pro Cut Brilliance. I honestly don't really know the difference. I just planted both of them, but you can see it's the orange petals with the dark center. These are the Pro Cut Peach. You can see the difference in petal color. It's a little lighter, more peachy, but not as light as the White Light, but not as orange as the Gold Light. So this is the Pro Cut Peach. So pretty. I really like these. And for my market bouquets, I grow only the Pro Cut series because honestly, when they bloom, they are about the perfect looking sunflower, but they also are pollenless. And so when you send those home in your bouquets, you know that there's not going to be pollen dropping all over the table. I actually had someone pick up a bouquet last week when I had my first sunflowers, and she said, oh, I'm gonna have to put this somewhere where it's not gonna drop on my table. And I said, no, you don't have to worry about this. These will not drop pollen. And she really liked that. So I only grow the Pro Cut for my bouquets. Okay, well that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing an update on how my sunflowers and my pumpkins are doing so far this season. It's the beginning of August and they have a lot of growing time left, and I cannot wait to see how many pumpkins develop and how my other succession plantings of sunflowers develop. So anyway, I better get moving because I have a bunch of market bouquets to make today with all of these really pretty blooms. So stay tuned for a video on that later this week. And at the end of this video, which is probably popping up right now, is the video on where I go over all of the pumpkins that I'm planting for the year, all 20 or so varieties. So make sure to watch that too. And follow me on Instagram because I post daily updates on there. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon.